Hey guys, what's up? I'm Sullivan. Let's get us started with part 2.
So, yeah, really interesting there. Mohamed Light getting punished by maybe seeing the light at the end of the tunnel a little bit too soon. And Morton up game number 1 here in this best of 3.
Okay. So we have an Ice Wiz, Knight, Skeletons from Mo, and we have what looks to be that classic bait from Morton here. And here comes the Graveyard. So I think this is going to be the splasher variation I was talking about not too long ago, but basically just has skeletons instead of a log. But this might be the one matchup where you maybe wouldn't like that. Maybe you would rather have the log instead of that quick cycle when you're going against a deck where the whole purpose is to bait that log out. You can't, baiting the log doesn't do anything if they don't have a log. And that just means that they've already accomplished the goal from the get-go.
Yeah, so we'll see how Mohamed Light wants to make up for that. I mean, early on, it's not going to be as much difficulty to deal with, but you know as this game moves forward, as we get deeper into double and into triple, and obviously Morton with this deck wielding log bait is a very formidable foe. So
True.
Mohamed Light has got his work cut out for him.
Very true. Baby Drag does get a hit here. That's solid damage. Two hits.
Wow.
Wow, really solid damage. But then the Gombro comes through. No log in cycle, no tornado in cycle. Ice Wiz does the best he can. In order for Mo Light to win this, he's going to once again rely on that Baby Dragon. That Baby Dragon is so key in Retro Royale in so many different matchups, especially versus this log bait deck.
And I think Morton needs to really make sure that he's making Mo Light use those nados in places that he doesn't want to. You know, to kind of wrangle, like a push like this, kind of pull it back, or to wrangle a princess together with some other smaller, like a princess plus ice spirit, whatever it might be, to make sure that Baby Dragon can get on top of the princess. It'll be interesting to see how Mo Light uses that nado moving forward. Nice from the Morton. Oh, wow, he still gets the King Tower activation, even though it looked like it was in the right spot. Mm-hmm. But was the Knight tanking, or was it just one tile over to the right?
I would say in general with the Gombro placement, unless you play it like really, really far away from the tower, you can always activate King, but it will cost you damage with specific placement. And that's kind of what Morton was going for there. He did kind of get what he wanted from the interaction. Mo Light also happy with the King activation, but I mean, this is a solid damage lead at this point.
Nice block with the Ice Spirit there at the bridge.
It was a good difference.
Princess Tower locked on the Skelly. Now a Knight can come down. And look at that damage on the right-hand side. Now going to have Skellies come down as well. Morton doing a great job of keeping up the pressure here in both lanes.
Yeah, the damage is great. But I also want to point out, Morton's got a super OG variation of log bait here without a building, but with Tornado instead. This is super OG because back in the day, Tornado used to having a ridiculous pull radius. It used to pull even stronger to the point where you didn't even need a building. But I think it's very important to note here, if Morton can activate his King Tower versus the Baby Dragon using that Tornado plus one other card, it's going to be a big difference maker in the rest of the overtime.
Morton keeping up the pressure on this right-hand side. Knight does cross the bridge for Mo. Ice Spirit to the back, Princess behind King.
Wow.
Gang to the front.
Defense.
Yeah, really nice defense there. 1550, 1483.
Yeah, and
70 seconds remain.
And the rock cycle is kind of inevitable here. You have to be a little bit shaken if you're Mo here. There it is, rocket coming through. As soon as it hits triple elixir, Morton confident in his ability to defend now. Mo Light needs to break through on offense.
And Gang way deep, trying to get that second Knight down. There's the second Knight. 2 princesses on the right-hand side make it so that those Knights actually going to be able to deal with these Baby Dragons. 12:04, 8:23, 40 seconds remain. Another Graveyard comes in from Mo Light. Gang up high. Nado comes in. Beautiful play there from Mohamed Light to get good damage in, but I think,
so
wow,
close.
That Larry almost got another hit.
So close, 900 to 823. Tornado on offense, unexpected. Mo Light doesn't expect it, and that's rocket range.
Yeah, you see Mo Light with a smile on his face. What a beautiful NATO from Morten.
Wow.
2 up, 2 down.
GG, okay.
Boomers taking that best of 3, 1v1. And you know what I still love? Is even though there's no money on the line, even though there's no points on the line,
Yeah.
the greatness in these players, you can see how much they all still hate losing. It's a beautiful thing to see these competitors still want it in a Retro Royale competition.
And I love Morten's reaction too. It's just like, yeah, you're in my realm now, Mo. You're in my realm now. This is OG Clash. I got the bait torn. Like euphoric almost to realize that you don't have to constantly be keeping track of your opponent's Evo cycle.
Yeah, you get to just like lock in and play the game. You're like, okay, this is what I'm doing. This is how they're defending. How am I going to beat that? You know, it is so nice to have that. I agree. When I first started playing, it's almost like PTSD. Like every time a Mega Knight comes down, I'm like, all right, next Mega Knight that comes down, I need to really think about how I want to defend it. Maybe I need to have my mortar in cycle so I just have a building so I can't knock it all over the board. And then I'm like, oh wait, this is Retro Royale. It's just a Mega Knight. I don't have to worry about it. So if you guys haven't tried it out, like Juicy said, definitely go give it a try. It's been super, super fun. There's still a few more days left of it. And I think if you get in the top 1,000, you get like a fun little badge. So check it out.
All right, let's lock in on this game. This is probably the most important match of the day, actually, when it comes to the stakes. Whoa. Oh. Arrows drop down as soon as Mo has enough elixir. He's smiling a little bit, and Morten's getting psyched up here. He's like, huge damage connection. I love it. This is looking pretty good for Morten so far, but like I said, if Morten can beat Mo here, he's gonna knock him out of the King of the Hill, and then I think there's a decent chance that Boomers maybe take the victory here with a comeback and points.
Would love to see it. Morten up by 1,100-ish HP, just a hair under. As he sets up that Musketeer at the back, another giant out. And Mohamed Light, no big spell, so Morten happy to just cycle his Musketeers in the back.
And this is another big thing. We've talked about it a lot today, the difference between Log and Barbarian Barrel. But not only does it make it difficult to break through sometimes if your opponent is good at blocking at the bridge, but it's also more difficult for a non-big spell version of Graveyard to deal with glass cannons like the Musketeer. This Musketeer, if properly protected by Morten, will pretty much be immortal, especially on his side of the map.
And we just saw that, you know, that Musketeer was trying to get sniped off the board with a high cannon from Mo Light. Morten was able to get a log out, push that Hunter back, give it just enough space to get another shot to take the Hunter off the board. Glass Cannon putting in a ton of work before, putting in a ton of work now, gets another shot off, and that's exactly what we're talking about. Great way to put into practice exactly what you were saying, Juicy. That Musketeer got so much value once again, and now we see Mohamed Light hyper-aggressive opposite lane. The kite, okay, Mini P.E.K.K.A up high, but this is a little bit more dangerous than I think Morten would like.
Yeah, Mini P.E.K.K.A gets taken out. That Hunter continues to tank. Graveyard does do some damage. I like the idea for Mo. He realizes that he can't just go same lane as this Musketeer, or else it will continue to pop off, but it's over. The zap resets the miner. What a play. Giant 1 HP. Muskie on the tower at 1 HP. And the tower just drops Morten. He might be the king of Retro Royale here.
I know, dude. I'm just like looking at his face, and it makes me so happy because you can